Welcome to Talkin Baseball. We've got special guest Jake Odorizzi on the show, and we're going to talk about the life of a pro ball player. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us today and hanging out for a little bit. No Jake. It is JOMBOY, myself, and Trevor Plouffe. We are back in our respective homes. I'm in the Bronx. Trev's in L.A. It's feel good to be back.
It feels really nice. I do miss the RV, but it's nice to like shower in a nice shower, sleep in a big bed. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, it was. I didn't get fully sick of the RV. Like it was like it's like all right, we can say goodbye, but I don't need to right now. So it was good. How'd the Little League game go?
Dude, I was dog tired. I think I told you guys, but I missed my connector flight. Had to, go late to Dallas, wake up at 6 a.m. in Dallas, fly home, hustle back. But it was good, man. Like the kids give you energy. Like they got energy in spades, man. So I got there and it was fine. It was good.
Is Teddy the ringer?
He's small, because he's young. So we have a couple guys that are bigger, like older, that are pretty good. But he's working his way up. He's good. For his like size and age, he's pretty good.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
We have a lot of patrons we need to thank at the start of this show. We have, and hang with me because we were on the road and we weren't able to do this. We have 1, 2, 3. Kelly, Horace, Robert, Lado, Rural Bob, Robbie Ferris. Bob, holy shit. Is that 4 Roberts in a row? Robert Lado, Rural Bob, Robbie Ferris, and Bob. 4 Bobs in a row. Shout out to the Bobs. Jess Hastings, Mitchell Brunner, Anne Marie, Jamie Lopresti, Ari Zanger, Trevor Fafard. Wow, another Trev. Sean McGuire, Krista Marie, Alex Anderson, Charles Murray, Eli Simon, Kelby Lemons, Brian Renfro, Amy McAdam, Caden Leduc, Tim, Scott Dahl, Eric Vanderpool, and Christian Ruzich. I don't know. Thank you very much to those people. We appreciate it.
Especially Kelby Lemons. That was my favorite name.
That was your favorite name?
Yeah.
Not the 4 Bobs?
No. And then the other one, Vanderpool, kind of like I was feeling that one too.
Vanderpool? Vanderpump Rules? Is that what that show's called?
It is. I've actually seen that show.
Well, you're an LA guy. Is that an LA show?
It's more of like you're married and sometimes you have to watch what your wife watches. Just to be a good guy,
All right. So there was a conversation yesterday, Trev, when the Cubs were mic'd up and Chris Bryant said that his name when he used to check into hotels was Hamilton Porter. And then they asked Rossi, was like, hey, Skip, what was your alias when you checked into hotels? And his was Jake Taylor, which is the backup catcher, the catcher from Major League, which is so perfect.
Perfect.
So that kind of goes with the theme of this show, which is just like the life of a pro ball player. So I'm going to open it up. Did you have an alias?
I did. Mine was Jimmy Page, guitarist for Led Zeppelin. And that was an easy one for me to remember.
But wait. Or isn't it supposed to be someone not famous? Like, wouldn't you then maybe have people bothering you who thought you were a Led Zeppelin guy? Is he dead?
I mean, I don't think Jimmy Page was going to be like in Kansas City. He's over there in London doing his thing. But there's some funny ones. Like, I think I could give some out, like guys that aren't playing anymore.
Yeah.
Delman Young, his was Dixie.
Okay.
Last name Normus.
Nice, Dixie Normus.
So I mean that's fun. You have to do it because you'll get like strange calls from like agents, like random agents, which I have no idea like how cold calling a hotel could ever work in an agent's favor, but they do it.
Really? I was gonna ask like, do you really need an alias? Like who's coming? I guess that's one answer. Agents. They'll just call hotels and be like if the Twins are in Kansas City, they'll just call hotels and just start dropping like, hey, do you have a Trevor Plouffe staying there? in hopes
I
that
guess I don't really know what the protocol is for hotels to like not let people just call, but like I assume if you call a hotel and you ask for whoever, like don't they just connect you to the room?
yeah.
But
Damn.
most guys have aliases, so they don't
Seems
have to
like a
deal with that shit.
terrible way to go about being an agent.
I totally agree. That's more like minor league
Okay.
stuff. These guys are like kind of on the ground floor trying to get in early, but yeah, just random stuff like that. So I think that's the biggest reason why guys have it, and it's just like fun.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
seems like it's really fun. Do you
bag
share?
tag same way. Like you don't want your name on the bag tag and all that stuff.
So do you have your alias on the bag tag?
Yes.
Was anyone's alias so good that like did you just start calling Delman Dixie as a nickname?
Yeah, he got called that a lot. People loved
Okay.
his for sure. And then if you start to like get guys to tell you what their alias is, because you kind of have to guard it a little bit, then you could start doing some funny stuff like charging room service to their room, and because you have the little itinerary that you get and have like the room list and stuff. So 204, I know my buddy's there. Like let's just charge a movie or charge this room service order to him, and most of the time the guys don't even know. And then you
Yeah.
got to tell them.
Is it their bill or is it the team's?
No, it's their bill. You have to do like the incidentals and stuff.
All right. Who was the biggest room service guy? Were you a big room service guy?
I kind of was, to be honest with you. More so like just if I was over it and tired, like it's so easy just to do it. But man, I mean, anyone that goes to a hotel knows room service is crazy expensive, so when you're in the show, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's not a
And
big
you have
deal,
the
but then
public
you look
pressure to
back.
tip. You have the public pressure to tip
Oh, yeah.
more because otherwise they'll just tweet out MLB Twins Trevor Plouffe is a cheapskate.
I tried to tip well. I did. And I don't understand like whoever like designed like the system for hotels and their room service. It's like service charge, delivery charge, automatic tip, and then they add like the additional tip line, which is so bullshit. But like you said, can't be out here on the streets having people think you're cheap.
No. Yeah.
So my go-to is like extra $5 on the additional tip. See you later. Like,
All right, let's walk through a road trip then.
yeah.
So say you have a weekend series in, do we want to do a fun city or a boring city? I think that's two different
let's
things.
do fun.
All right, say you have a weekend series in New York City and you have the Thursday beforehand off.
Ooh.
So do you arrive? Does the team arrive Thursday morning and then you have the day off, or do you hang out wherever you were Thursday?
It just depends. So like, say you played Wednesday day game and then you had Thursday off. It depends on your skipper and like kind of what your team mentality is. I've done both where like you'll fly in Wednesday, have Wednesday night and the entire off day in the city.
That sounds ideal because then you can go after it Wednesday night if you want and have a full day of hangover recovery day.
Guys love that, but sometimes like it's like family guys would rather be at home because they don't want to get yelled at by their wives, stuff like that. So,
well, if it's an off day between two away series, you could definitely do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. That's the best. So yeah, like Wednesday. Say we left Wednesday.
Yeah.
And like kind of the reason we're doing this is because these are some of the questions that every ball player gets asked. Like, tell me about the travel, tell me about the hotels, tell me about just the lifestyle, whatever. So Wednesday, you show up to the fields and you're kind of rocking your plane attire. Like for me, it was we had suits, but that's kind of gone by the wayside now. Like it's more like casual on the planes and stuff. But you wear what you're going to wear on the plane, and you pull up to the park.
Yep.
And there's a big truck waiting for all your bags. So basically you pull up, put the thing in park, there's someone there, you pop the trunk, they take the bag for you. You throw them a little tip there. It's usually one of the clubhouse guys. And then you head into the ballpark. So you didn't even touch your bag. Like that bag's gone. It's like going to go on the plane. See you later. Go play the game. Hopefully you do well. That's the best. Like you go have like a 3-for-4 game and then off day. And it's like you get to like just feel yourself
for
the next 24 hours before like you have to do it all over again. So Hopefully you have a good game, and then again, like your bags, like your clubhouse guy's gonna pack your bag for you. So all of your away clothes are packed. Essentially all you're doing at that point is your extra stuff. So if there's like any special shirt you want to bring or cleats you want to bring, like that's the stuff you pack. But everything else is already packed for you. Your hats are already packed. Your helmets, your bats, all that shit is.
You're a child
They
with
do
a
it.
great mother again.
It's insane. The more and more I look back on it, you really didn't do shit. But that's kind of that's what they want. They want you to focus on the game.
Yeah. All right, you talked about playing well before an off day. I have a question for you. Since Boone took over the Yankees, he loves giving guys back-to-back off days. So say Thursday's an off day, he would take two regulars like Didi and Glaber and give them Wednesday off. They don't play in the game on Wednesday. How would you have liked that as a player? How long does 2 off days go as far as like muscle recovery and mental recovery?
Yeah, I think it's great, and I think it kind of differs on players and like where you're at in your season. Like if you're hot, like and you're seeing the ball well, you're like, fuck no, like
Yeah.
put me in there. Like I'll get my day, and then. So I think those are. I bet if you looked like when he was doing that, it was either like they had a ton of games in a row, and it was like his way of just really making sure everyone got healed up, or these guys were struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I remember, man, like Dozier before he went off and hit like a zillion homers that year, they gave him an entire series off. Like Mahler was like, "We're in Kansas City. You're not playing these next 3 games, and like just sit down, shut up, like be a fan." And he did that, had a little like readjust, and boom, he went off. So like mentally, I think it's really nice sometimes to know that like, hey, I got 2 days where I can just shut it off, man.
Yeah.
Or like if I want to go in the cage and like work on something, like I can just go bang it out and not have to worry about like the process into the game. So that's kind of good. But I think more so it's like get away from the game, like just have a reset, a mental reset.
All right.
But I do like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's they do it every year now. So maybe other teams do that too. I don't follow the schedules as closely.
Yeah.
So what if you get into a state, if you get into New York City for that weekend game and you get in Thursday night, right? And you arrive Thursday night because you played the getaway day Thursday. You fly after the game. You're arriving like 9 at night. The Friday game's a night game. Are people going out that Thursday night with a night game the next day on Friday?
You can. It kind of just depends, who they are. Especially starting pitchers. So like if they're not pitching, sure, they're going to go out. The thing about like road games is you don't stretch until 4:00. Maybe like even like 4:30. So you could essentially go out till 2 a.m. and then sleep till noon or 1 if you needed to. So guys definitely do that. But as you get a little bit older, it starts to catch up to you and shit. So like in my younger days, for sure, I was doing that 100%. It's probably not a good thing though.
CC Sabathia on R2C2 said that the Yankees, whenever there was a team coming into New York City for the weekend series, and it was there, and they were from a city that like Kansas City or a city that didn't have a good nightlife or party scene, he's like, we would look around and be like, we better beat these fuckers, especially if they were young and you knew they were out partying. Like there was something that they looked at on the schedule to like put in their brain. Do you agree?
I totally agree, and I think that I've heard similar stories in other sports too. Like in hockey, the Vegas Golden Knights, like they get that advantage because guys come in and just like wild out.
Yeah,
it's Vegas, and why not? LA, the Lakers kind of get that same effect. Like I got buddies that kind of do a lot of the nightlife out here, so like they know who's out, so they'll like name drop like guys that were out and like just watch, this guy's gonna play terrible. He was fucked up in my restaurant last night. Like
that's funny.
Whatever. Yeah, but I mean you have to do stuff like that because you gotta break it up. Like I said, mentally, I think it's the biggest thing. Like sometimes you just need to go out and have a night because you're every day you're just grinding, and every once in a while I need a release.
Is there a release police on each team? Is it like an assistant coach? Is it an older player? Is it like the traveling secretary? Like, is there someone doing curfew checks? Is there someone that gets on you? Like, hey, is there ever been a time where the manager has to be like, no going out tonight? Like, it's late August, it's September. Like,
you
nothing.
could get like a pull to the side and be like, hey man, like reel it up a little bit, like reel it in, But they're never gonna be like, you can't go out. They always say you're a professional and this is your career. So if you want to fuck your career by going out every night, a la Baker Mayfield or something,
Yeah. I mean, Kobe used to say that he would like get on guys who were going out and not showing up early to work out and stuff like that. So there was
once it starts affecting your work, then yes, that's 100% people are going to get on you because they know.
All right.
And
but
a lot of the older guys love to hear the stories. The young guys come in, they're like, tell me what happened last night. Let's hear it.
Living through the glory years.
You have to, yeah. And those guys, it's all great. And then if they start playing shitty, it's like, hey, well, we know why.
Yeah. So, how about like, I'm trying to dodge a word here.
Okay.
People that show up at hotels when they know baseball players are there. So you have the card collectors that are probably there when you get off the bus and then there in the morning when you get on the bus. There's probably some girls that are going to hotel whenever players come in. Is there another group of people, or are those really the two that are like kind of hanging around?
At the hotels? I think that's changed a little bit too. Security, they don't just let people like hang around, at least in my experience. You'll have people in the lobbies, whatnot, but they try to keep it, I guess, safe for guys.
Are there familiar faces though? Like, do you guys get used to like, all right, we're going to Detroit. That damn autograph seeker is going to be there. That's annoying as fuck. We got to dodge them.
I mean, some I guess some you would recognize just because they're always there. But I'm going to sound really mean right now. I'm going to go for it.
Okay.
I didn't look a lot of the guys in the eye.
You didn't want to be on that level with them?
If the way they get you is you're just like, you're going to the bus, like they just call your name and like you feel bad. So like every once in a while, like you just go over there and it's just like, what they're doing with them. If there's kids, man, you interact with the kids and you do the whole thing. But these autograph guys, I mean, like if you do decide to sign for them, I think most guys just go like,
I don't understand. Like, you shouldn't feel bad saying that. Like, these guys are making money off your signature, and the way they get your signature is by hounding you.
Longoria was really good with these guys. He would just be like, he would just yell at them essentially and ask him like, what the F are they doing here? Like, go to work. Like he was good with it. Like he didn't give a shit. Probably because he got hounded more than most guys because he's
on the Rays. Yeah.
But definitely stay away from that as much as you can. And they've made it harder and harder. I think they've started to understand like the potential risks there too. Like you don't know who. What the freak?
His Trev's video just went out. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
still.
well, I'm still going. Yeah, you don't know the potential risks that happen. Or that can happen.
Yeah, I mean the autograph guys are just basically paparazzi. A lot of technical difficulties here on this episode, but we're persevering. We're just talking about how adult autograph seekers are basically paparazzi, and I don't think we should tiptoe around shaming them for what they do because they're just making money off professional players' names by hounding them and guilting them into signing. I'm anti-autograph sellers. Hard stance.
I still feel bad like talking negatively about them. I don't know why.
I don't know why. A lot of ball players do.
They're nice. Like they're always nice to you, and then you kind of feel bad like you're just like, it's basically telling them to go F themselves.
I mean, if you go to spring training, if you don't know what we're talking about, and you go to a spring training game and just get there really early and then look around and see who your company is, and it's like sad.
So. Yeah, I'm curious if people actually make money off this. Like a guy that's asking Trevor Plouffe for his autograph, like, buddy, I don't think you're going to make a lot of money on that card, So
Who knows?
I guess the quantity thing, like you just got to get a bunch of them and throw them on eBay and see what happens.
Oh, I mean, like, say the Twins win the World Series, then you have, like, every Twin signed this. I have every Twins autograph, so I guess, like, that's their game?
I'd rather do that than, like, the binder full of, like, 12 cards.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about girls? You ever go to Detroit and they're like, oh, she's going to be here?
Not really.
No.
I that wasn't my world because I was, I was always wifed up.
There was a girl who in Chicago was known for doing that with baseball players, and she shot a baseball player. And then she went on to hooker shoots Cubs baseball player. She went on to have her own Broadway show.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
This happened recently. This also happened in 2012. Damn.
Where was this at? In Chicago?
Yeah, it was like back in the 20s because the guy got the guy got shot. We did a whole thing on it last from the past because the guy who got shot, then because the guy on the Cubs got shot, they had to trade for a player, and they traded for this guy that was part of the 1927 Yankees, was a teammate of of Babe Ruth, and then he was part of the whole Babe Ruth pointed and called his shot thing. But like the story starts with like this hooker, I forget. There's been a lot of cases of that. She meant to shoot one baseball player, couldn't find him, turned around, shot the next. So that hasn't been your experience.
I mean, look, like, am I gonna sit here and say there's just like not girls like around? Like, of course there is, but I can't. That just wasn't my area, I knew there was a few hotels where you'd go to, and you knew like there was gonna be people there that are looking. Detroit was one of them.
Oh yeah,
Detroit was one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
And we stay
nothing else going on.
We stay outside of the city, and so like you just show up, and there'd be like, I remember a few times like 3 or 4 like girls like really just like dressed up like really nicely.
Yeah.
And then like one guy just like there.
Ooh.
And so like you kind of got the dynamic that was going on right there. But again, like maybe it's just my experience. I just never. It was just like, what is going on here? Like, get these guys out of here.
Yeah. All right. So just for anyone that's very interested, the girl's name was Violet Popovich, and she shot Cubs shortstop Billy Burgess in 1931.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then
20s and 30s were there. That's a wild time.
She went on to like do a Broadway play, like all about like the dame who shot the shortstop.
That's hilarious. That kind of makes sense. That kind of like goes with what's happens now. Like you can get famous for doing a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
turn it into something.
And then because Billy Burgess was out, they called up another shortstop. It's all this shit. It's a cool story. Did it on Laughs from the Past, Babe Ruth's called shot.
I'm going to check it out.
Everything, we've been asking a lot of players this when we do the interviews, who's your plane buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like that's a vital part of flying. Like the planes, as far as I know these days, there's the cards crew.
Yep.
And then there's the just Netflix and doing your own thing crew.
Yeah, that's a great dynamic, on the plane. You're absolutely right. There is always a cards table, and you'll have the cards. Like I was always at the card table that was playing for money, and like, we played dealer calls, a ton of poker games, and you're doing that on the plane, and that's a lot of fun. Then you have the guys who are like to play cards to pass the time, but they're playing stuff like spades or Passoy, and it's just like for fun.
Okay, child's table.
Yeah. Then you have the video games guys, and that's kind of a newer thing where like you have these consoles. The guys bring like fucking screens onto the plane, and they have like their setup, and like they'll like legitimately just like set it up, and like you can hook them up. They play like Mario Kart against each other, or they're playing whatever the game is. I'm not a gamer.
That sounds really fun, but also like a lot of a hassle. Are they having someone set that up for them? Is this like the bag situation?
Like the only thing they'd have to do is just like bring that bag on a plane, because it is like it's in like this collapsible case, and you just like it's like a briefcase, and they fucking open it up, and there's video game screen. They do that. So you have those guys. Then you have the guys that just want to sleep. A lot of guys, like, whether it's they're nervous to fly or whatever, they're just tired. Like, there's always the sleepers, bro. Like,
Yeah.
they just get on the plane and they're gone. I could never do that. I wish I could sleep on planes, but
I can't. I'm about to do like, as people are listening to this, I'm on doing 2 cross-country flights in one day. I'm flying to Arizona in the morning, taking the red eye back. Then Friday, Jake and I got to record in the morning, and I'm not going to be able to sleep. I might try to do a weed gummy on the plane for the first time. I'm always too scared. Ooh. I don't want to like knock myself out. I don't want to be too silly on the plane. You have any experience with that?
I do.
Okay. I didn't know. I was about to just.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Like, look at the hat I'm wearing.
Okay. I was about to say, you just flew high.
I did, and it helped me out a ton, man. Like,
okay.
I don't think we should be ashamed about talking about that, Jim. You know,
I just didn't know. I didn't want to be the one to share that story of yours.
I think it's pretty well known that, like, I partake.
Okay. Well, it's funny. Like, when we talked with you the first time, you were saying how guys would get drunk every night and then they'd have like a hangover and they'd be like, you know, they'd get into trouble with girls or fights or whatever. Yep. And they'd look at you or anyone that smoked weed and was like, dude, you can't do that. And you're like, all I do is get high and sit on the couch. Like, the drinking's way worse.
It
which
is
way true.
Worse, and that's a stigma in baseball. It's like so ridiculous. Like, you'll get guys that they'll crack like 3 or 4 beers right after the game. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get, every once in a while, but that catches up to you, dude. And we're both in our 30s, and like, you can't recover the same way when you're like, when I was 20, I could crack 3 or 4 beers and be totally fine.
When we were on the RV trip, like, we drank a couple beers every night, but I never really got like drunk.
Yeah, we know not to do that anymore. We're smart.
Because I can't. I don't function the next day.
Yeah, it's the weed gummies can definitely help, and that's something that's especially now, like, we're getting more and more lenient in baseball with cannabis. So I think it's going to help.
Okay, good. Sounds good to me.
But
so I'll do that.
That kind of brings me to, I wanted to talk about the food. Because I think that's, people ask me all the time about that, and then my wife yells at me because she says I've been institutionalized.
Okay.
Once you're in baseball, I mean, there's a few things that happen. You have a schedule every day, and they tell you what to do. So all you got to do is just do your routine, do your schedule. That's it. Play the game. You don't have to think about anything because they don't want you to think about anything. They just want you to think about baseball. So one of the reasons one of the ways I'm institutionalized, that I get yelled at all the time, is baseball players are they get accustomed to like a big spread of food, like an array of food. You show up to the ballpark, whether it's breakfast and you can make your own omelet station, you have donuts, anything you can think of, you're going to have.
You just walk into buffets everywhere you go.
You just walk in, you're like, oh, I don't really feel like that. Can you make me this? Or like, oh, this looks good. Oh, but I'll have like some of this, some of that. And that's every damn meal at the stadium. And then, so now I'm done playing, and like, my wife will make me like a couple eggs, and I'll kind of look at her like, that's all we got. Where's my fruit bowl of cut up beautiful fruit that's presented beautifully? And, where's like my 6 choices of proteins? Like, let's go. And I know now not to say anything, because a few times she's like, you're an idiot. Like, you stop being a spoiled baseball player. Like, go make your own fucking bacon.
Dude, I mean, sounds like the life. Dansby Swanson on the show was telling us the cook for the Braves in spring training, at least, like, knows all of their personal preferences and dietary restrictions. So if she makes this meal, she'll also have this special plate just for Dansby.
It's insane. I mean, you
guys are just fucking babied.
Babied after the game. Say we're talking getaway days now, right? So you play the game, you have your spread, and typically, like, on getaway days, they really try to like go above and beyond, because that's tip day.
Oh,
get them tips in, right?
Nice.
So you're gonna get like the prime shit on your last day. So you have that food, and a lot of guys are like, "Fuck, I don't even want to eat because I was just up for a game." Like, I'm not hungry right now. So you pass that over. You're like, "Oh, maybe I'll grab something." Get on the plane, more fucking food. Here's the menu of food we have on the plane, and do you want this? There's always like some specialty item from the city that you play in. So like if you're in Kansas City, they're gonna have like some sort of barbecue, like
Yeah.
pre-takeoff food.
Okay.
And then once you get up in the air, they have the other fucking food.
Damn.
A lot of guys don't like to eat on the plane, so then it's where are we going to dinner? Where's the show dinner at? If we're in New York, are we going someplace that's amazing? Are we ordering room service? I always go to Ray's Pizza.
Okay.
And just crush it. So it's a big food, man. Now that I really think back on it, food is such a huge part of these days. There's no shortage, man. They just want to stuff your face.
Well, and you're athletes, so you you can take all the calories, and you're working out every day and stretching every day and doing all that shit.
And you go from the minor leagues where you're literally slapping together a couple pieces of bread and PB&J to this beautiful spread, and then you'll see a ton of guys, like as soon as they get called up, they'll probably gain 3, 4, 5 pounds, no doubt. Just because it's
like
available.
The freshman 15 in college.
It is there, Jim. Like even if it's like not timed for like food to be put out, there's still just like shit available everywhere.
So I've heard you talk about it and heard every player talk about it, that Yankee Stadium away clubhouse is the best restaurant in New York City. Guys love the food at Yankee Stadium. Who's the worst? My guess is Oakland.
Oof. I don't want to. That's tough for me to say because these guys work their ass off. So like the guy in Oakland, Mikey, he does everything he can with what he has at his disposal. He just doesn't have the means to do something like the Yankees do.
Yeah.
Like he's in there and he's got his electric stove and he's cranking out everything, and like you're gonna get the in and outs, you're gonna get the Mexican food, but you go to Yankee Stadium and they got a full professional kitchen back there, so you can get whatever you want. I would always get a pastrami sandwich, and it was delicious.
That's what you get at the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Did you have certain meals every like stadium, like Kansas City? You getting barbecue?
Somewhat, yeah. We would try to, like Kansas City. There's a place called Oklahoma Joe's, I think. And it's like a gas station place, like one of those. So we'd always like send a guy out, like, hey, get 50 sandwiches and then bring him back. So you'd always kind of do that, stuff like that.
What about Seattle? Fish?
Seattle's really good. They have a good chef there that he'll cook you whatever you want. They also have a keg of Manny's Pale Ale, which was my favorite. So after the games, man, you just go there, pour yourself a beer, and that's the life for me.
All right, not bad. So you're just spoiled. They take your bags for you. They cook for you, give you everything.
Fly you, pick you up. The best thing, we always talk about like double ear flap helmets and single ear flap helmets. Another great thing that as you climb up the ladder that happens for you is you get your cleats cleaned. I know that sounds like stupid, but low level minor leagues, you don't really get that done. So like you'll see guys walking around with scrubbing bubbles in their bag, and like, cause you don't want to look you want to look professional. You don't want your cleats all fucked.
I'm a big fan of dirty equipment. So when I buy new shoes, I just walk through the grass right away. It's a self-conscious thing. I don't think I'm worthy of having anything new. Like my hockey equipment, the last set of hockey equipment I bought was when I was 15, and I used that up until 2 years ago in men's league. Like I just hate new stuff. My brother's the opposite. He loves new stuff. Like, do you remember John Wetland for the Yankees wore the same hat all season?
Yeah,
it was disgusting.
It's disgusting.
I love that shit. I think I'd be one of those people.
I could see that. Sometimes they won't even allow you to do that.
I can understand why. You look gross.
You look gross. I would pine tar like my helmet, like get the logo like really pine tar just because I thought it looked cool and I was trying to be show. And then
it wasn't natural wear and tear.
No, dude. You just get in there. Anybody, let me tell you this, dude. Anybody that has like all the pine tar all over everything, that is on purpose and like it's just for show.
It's not natural.
No.
What about like Robinson Cano and some batters always have the pine tar in their back from resting their bat? Yeah. Are they doing that to look cool, or is that natural?
No, that's on accident, but that is just because they want their bat to look cool.
Okay.
Like that's one of the more fun things you can do as a hitter. Like you get your bats in And all of a sudden it's like, all right, now I got to get them ready. So like I had a process, I would do like the stick pine tar first, really lather it on there. I would even tape like the edges. So like it would be perfect.
Lined up.
Lined up. Then you put the real pine tar on it. Then you put the rosin on it, and you just get it. It needs to sit for a day. Then it's perfect. But really, I mean,
yeah, but that's just kind of like a mindset thing. It's like hockey players taping their sticks.
Exactly.
It's just something to do to keep your mind. It's like therapeutic in a way and all that stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. I would do like the helmet thing, do it all over my helmet. And then so I would get it perfect. Like it was just like gunked up. I look like a ball player, whatever. And then you show up one day and they'd fucking clean it off.
Damn.
It's like, dude, stop. I don't stop cleaning.
I'm trying to look show here.
I'm trying to look show. I think that's a good, like, we always talk about like, what can we do on our social and stuff. And we talked about a little bit on the trip, like the glow up.
Yeah.
Cause you love dirty stuff. So like the minor leagues would be perfect for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds the eating part and the sleeping on buses and living with 5 guys in one apartment or whatever. That sounds pretty shitty.
Like, who's the showless guy for you? Like, who's the guy that you think, like, wow, that guy looks like a big leaguer? Like, and he's, like, his uniform's good. Like, he wears a good uniform.
On the Yankees?
Sure.
I mean, that's where I'm naturally going to go. I don't know. There's, like...
It's tough on the Yankees because
they all kind of do it.
So, who's your guy?
It's more like... So, Brandon Drury came over to the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
And Jake and I just watching a couple spring games because he didn't stick for a while. He went blind and then he got sent down to the minors and all that. But we were just like, damn, he looks like a ball player. Just his presence in the box and his presence at third base and the way he wore his uniform, we were like, that dude looks like a pro ball player. I don't know why. I can't really explain it.
I'm surprised that guy hasn't taken off because I thought the same thing when I saw him. Like, he just looks the part.
Yeah.
But it would be funny to do the glow up, like show him in his minor league uniform. Because it's impossible, dude, to make your minor league uniform look cool.
Especially when they have you dressing up in cartoon characters and shit.
It's never going to happen. Then you get to the show, and it's like, bro, the difference is crazy.
Dude, it's the double ear flap. It's the weird uniforms.
Pants don't fit.
Is that a thing? So how about uniforms? I think we got to wrap this up soon. But uniforms, like when you get up there and you get to the big leagues, do they just guesstimate your size? Is it exact measurements? Are they just giving you like medium, large, 32, 34, 36? Like what is it?
You get fitted in spring training. So like they'll have, it used to be the Majestic people. So I guess it's the same, it's Nike people now, but they'll come and they measure you and they say, do you want your pants tapered? That means they can.
Yeah. Do you want them tight as fuck like Verlander or do you want them show?
You can do whatever you want. And
what did you do?
I would just kind of like have them measure me and just make sure they fit right. But then, the open bottom look was popular. It's kind of going away now. Like people are getting more like trim pants, but like the baggy open bottom look was really in. So before you would have to cut the rubber band on the bottom of your pants and then like stretch them out a lot to get that open look. But then they started like saying, okay, we'll just do it for guys. So you could like get the open pant look. And then if you wanted them to stay over your shoes, they would cut like the side of your pants and do like this hemming process and just get it like super dialed in for you. So yeah, they have like specific pants for you. It's going to have your name stitched in the back, all that crap. So they want you to look nice. They want you to feel good.
There was like Rizzo wears baggy pants.
Mm-hmm.
Did you wear, and Verlander wears the tightest pants ever. So like those are like, he's saying, hey, I like them real tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen the Harper pants? I feel like those are kind of like the next big thing, how Harper's wearing his pants.
Right now?
It's almost like they're tight and then like they're like on the ankles, they're tapered.
Yeah, they're like joggers.
They're like, exactly. I think that's going to be the new trend because guys want to show their kicks off.
Dude, yeah, I'm looking at pictures of Harper right now, and he's turned baseball pants into joggers.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, like I said, it was for a while. It was like, give me the biggest, baggiest pants you could find because that's cool.
Yeah.
But now
CC Sabathia still wears. He was wearing parachute pants.
Yeah. What would you do?
I wouldn't care about looks at all. I just care about comfort. So like I wouldn't do joggers. That seems uncomfortable. I think I'd do like I was looking at pictures of you, like just kind of like tapered down but not tight.
Yeah.
I don't want to be tight out there.
People, I guess I didn't have the best. Sometimes I felt like I looked good in the uniform, and sometimes I felt like I didn't. So
That's life, man.
but it's life.
I would go high socks. I don't think I'm good enough to go high socks, but I liked whenever I played in high school, I went high socks.
It's the most comfortable thing. Another fashion. We saw this a little bit on our trip. The new fashion thing guys are doing. It's pregame short pants. So the high sock pants. Hold on, keep getting called right here. Pregame short pants, and then it's like you don't even wear socks. You wear leggings, and then over the leggings you put like crew socks.
Okay.
That's the new look.
Weird.
It's like, yeah, you have like cool looking socks, like, you know, like Stance, the company Stance, they do a bunch of like cool stuff for MLB. So you have short pants, your leggings that are usually like black or whatever, and then you'll have like the crew socks. And people are just like flexing, dude. Like it's become such a flexing league. It wasn't that.
Well, it's good.
Before.
They need that. They need to get the fashion going and all that. What about uniform after the game? Like, is it just you just put it in the hamper, and then when you show up the next day, it could be the same exact uniform. It could be a brand new one. You have no idea.
Usually it's the same one, but yeah, that's another show thing. Minor leagues, you have a loop, and you put your pants and your jersey; those go in just naked. You just throw them in, and then everything else you'd have to put on a loop. So like, you get the loop back the next day, and the good clubbies would take the shit off the loop and hang for you, but a lot of them aren't good clubbies, so they would just like hang the loop up, and all your stuff is just like wrinkled and gross and whatever. But in the show, everything's loose. Just throw it in there, and they put your name on everything too, so they know which is yours. But it's just that much easier. They baby you that much more.
So your home,
just like take your shit and throw it in the fucking hamper.
Your home white jersey.
Yes.
How many different versions of that do you think you wear over 81 home games? Say you wear it 70 of the 81 home games for the Twins. Mm-hmm. Is it one jersey you're wearing all 70 games? Do you have any idea?
I think it just depends. You know, if there's a rip or they want to take it, you did something good in it. But I'd assume it's mainly the same one.
Can you request, like, if you have a rip but you're 7 for your last 10, can you be like, hey, don't change out my jersey, I need that rip?
Yeah, you can say that for sure. You'll see a lot of guys. Like, it's interesting now that we're talking about it, I want everyone to kind of go look at everyone's uniform. Like, the patchwork is strange how they do it. It like kind of doesn't look that great. It's like all these like squiggly little lines. Like if you bust your knee, like you slide, you bust your knee open. They like go in from behind and like I don't even know what they do, but it doesn't look clean.
Okay,
it's not like a clean patch. No, it's just how it happens.
Damn.
But you'll see a lot of guys, especially guys that steal bases. You go ahead and like look at their knees and like their butt. You're gonna see like this weird
squiggle
like, patchwork. Yeah.
All right, will do. All right, I think. You have anything else we didn't talk about?
That was good. There's some more stuff we'll get to next time, but
maybe Jake has some questions for next time.
I think it's fun to like get in and talk about some of this stuff because these are questions that you get asked all the time. So maybe we'll answer them. All
right, we'll be back tomorrow with another mini episode and a mini episode after that. And then on Monday, Jake will be in studio with me to run down whatever's happening. We got to take a deep look at everything that's happening across the league and all that, and catch you up on some news. So with that, we're out. See you tomorrow.
See you later.